Hello once again and welcome. You're on to Africa Business Radio and it's time for us to have an interesting chat. We have a very solid, sweet personality in the studio with us today. Her name is Arin. Yes, you guessed it. That one. Arin that just basically stepped out gracefully out of the Big Brother house not too long ago. But let me give you some information about this amazing young lady. Now, she's a multi-dimensional artist. She's a creative that hails from Ekiti State. Now, she was chosen as one of the 25 people to be in Big Brother Naija for this season 6 edition. And it was quite a competitive selection process, we have to say. Hundreds of thousands of people, applied, and she was one of the people they put in that house. And there was a reason. Because Arin is not only a creative director, but she's also the founder of 2 fashion brands, the tie-dye shop and Nola Black, which was the only Nigerian brand to showcase a collection at the 2019 AFI CapeTown Fashion Week. Imagine that. Now, she was also one of the 3 brands to deliver a fashion presentation at the 2019 GTBank Fashion Weekend, and she doubles as a cultural director and art curator. Aha! You didn't know that, did you? Well, we're here to have a chat with Arin, who was also project manager on the team that took Nigeria to its first ever Venice Biennale in Italy in 2017, known as the Olympics of Art. There's so much, crammed into this sardine can of creativity. Welcome to the studio, Arin.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right then, so let's get to it. We see art in different ways all over the world. People see art in many different sectors as many different things. Some people see it as money. Some people see it as expression. What is art to Arin?
Art is everything. I think art is life. We can't do anything without art, and I think art is in everything. Like, we can see art in everything. So, yeah.
You can see art in everything.
Yeah, like, even if, you're a scientist or you could be anything, a researcher, like, it doesn't have to be the literal sense or the typical sense that we think of it, which is really just like painting.
Okay.
Everything is art. Like, you can be creative, in every career that you do. It doesn't necessarily have to specifically be, creatively inclined, but you can be creative in everything. So yeah, I think that once you can bring something out that didn't exist before that moment, even if it's a variation of something else, that is art. Our ability to think up things originally, authentically, and out of thin air, that's art.
Out of thin air, I like that. Out of thin air, but you have to have some kind of medium for this creativity to thrive. Some people are very creative with money, for instance. Some people are very artistic with how they make money.
Yes.
But you actually do apply art, right? Mm-hmm. So what are your main media?
So I'm a curator. Of course, I think curating is also a form of art because, you have to write. You have to, your mind has to be in sync with the artist's mind. You have to be in tune with reality and like the world around you and kind of just know what you want to say as a curator when you're putting together a show. But also, I guess on the bigger side, I express through fashion, my style, how I look, but also like being a creative director, whether it be just all visual expression, whether it be editorials or campaigns or fashion films, so this is how I express through style and fashion and also curating.
So the whole idea for today's conversation is leveraging on curative art when it comes to business. So it feels like a very niche area to touch on in business. In a place like Nigeria, do you have any worries about whether it's going to connect with people and whether it's going to make money?
Yeah, I definitely already was making money before I even went to the house, so I'm not really worried about it making money. But of course, connecting with people, especially because, we're in Nigeria and our most immediate worries is in art. Like, the average Nigerian isn't worried about when last they interacted with any kind of visual art or things like that. But, they have, other more pressing worries. So yes, in terms of connecting with people and letting them know that art is an actual legitimate, important, actually vital, because this is what we leave behind when we go. When we're no longer around to tell our stories, the art that we left behind tells it for us, talks about what we've experienced. So it's literally just as important as history, if not more.
Okay. So the history that we're connecting with Arin, is it strictly African history, or do you go around the world with your ideas?
I think definitely global. Of course, I'm a young person, and we live in an internet age. More than half my life, the internet has existed, and now because of that, we are inspired by many other things, and many other things now influence us. So, I think I definitely think from a global perspective. Of course, I have strong cultural instincts that I want to express as well. So, through tie-dye shop, you can already see that using batik and adire, which are old artisanal techniques. So yeah.
All right. So, but it also it costs a lot of money to put a business like this together, and it's the kind of thing not a lot of people understand. So the average maybe shop owner or boutique owner goes to a bank and asks for a loan because they're able to explain that, they're going to sell this, and this and pay it back. But curating art isn't something you just push to an average bank. So how have you been able to fund your creativity?
Listen, I think that's such an interesting and important question, because I actually even deliberately stayed away from loans and maybe even investors for Nola Black. So how I've done it is, I don't know, apart from the fact that I think I'm a good money manager because I've done it from such a young age. It's also like, so my art funds my life, and then I put that into fashion. I haven't taken like the biggest leaps of faith where I've invested like the hugest amounts of money in art, but what I've done is I found like unique ways and like little gaps in the market. There's this affordable show that I curate every once in a while, and just to reach out to people, to encourage young people to collect work, because art is actually an investment. It's not like buying a commodity because those lose value, whereas for your art it actually goes up in value. So yeah, I actually haven't taken that leap of faith to like loan, but I've just self-invested with my own money or my own earnings.
That self-investment is a huge sacrifice.
Yes.
And that means that many times when we want to do something and we're jumping in full swing, we reach out to friends, family, enemies to help fund these things. But I have to ask what your family thought about you going all in with curating art. I don't think my father would have funded my own artistic dreams, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I completely know what you're saying. My father as well, so we can relate on that note. But they've been super supportive. My mom, my sister is my co-founder in like most of my businesses. They're extremely supportive. I think my mom is just amazed and happy that I came out of her, and she's just like, wow, I produced this. So no, yeah, they're super supportive. I think there's something inside me as well that prevents me from reaching out to people for support. So there's also that.
Now, there are quite a few influences people have when they decide to go into art or creating things and putting together events. They either look up to family members who are already in the field, or they have mentors or people they look up to out there. So which is the case for you, family or external mentors?
Oh, I have Well, I would say external people I work with who are older. I used to work with when I first finished my master's, so this was the first place I.
You mean Maya Tafo?
Yes, Maya Tafo.
Oh, okay.
Maya Tafo. Sorry how about that.
Like put some respect on that name.
I know, you know.
Yeah, like just my friend. Oh wow.
I know I'm too familiar, but yeah, Maya Tafo. So he, Tola Kerile, you know, she has, you know, made a huge impact in my life as well. So both of them, I would say.
So I know for a fact that my jumped all in. He left a huge job.
Yeah, I think
he left
advertising or marketing.
Yeah, he was.
Before.
He wasn't just a marketer. He was a marketer on steroids.
Yeah.
He was in some of the biggest companies in and around Africa. In fact, international companies. And he left all that and jumped in. Now, do you believe that's something you could do? And have you ever decided, have you ever at any point thought, you know what, I'm no longer interested in doing this. I'm going another direction?
Yes, because, I studied cell biology and genetics. I know, that was like a full-on scientist.
Wow.
And not only did I study that in my undergrad, for my post-grad, I studied biotechnology.
Okay, so I can hear your parents now.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. So imagine what that must have been like. And I was living in Canada, and I was supposed to just work and live my scientist happy life and everything. And I was just like, nope, it's not working for me. Because I already designed from when I was like 17, before I even finished my undergrad, and like many other things apart from that. So so this was one of the times where I had to make a tough decision, and I made the move back, and so far so good.
All right. So it sounds like we're all peachy and all happy-go-lucky, like everything's going great. But we all know there have been challenges. There have to have been some hurdles that you've had to climb. So let's share a few of them. What's the hardest thing? Well, let's say since you left the house that has happened when it comes to your business.
Oh, no, because I left the house not too long ago, there hasn't really been any new developments, but I'll share what it has been so far, just one on both ends. For art, I will say just lack of structure. I basically have only a few trailblazers, like one or two. There aren't many people who are doing this specific career, like being an independent curator, as well as a cultural producer. Everything is, I don't know, it's not as developed as it should be. And then for fashion is infrastructure, just the lack of infrastructure. I mean, and for both, just in general, funding. So these are really the challenges.
Funding.
Yeah, funding.
So what is that dream project that you would like? Like right now, someone is listening right now.
Yeah.
And they got some big money.
Yeah.
What is that big project that you're going to present to them that will make them, just take all my money, just get this done?
Oh, wow. Okay, so I think one of my dream projects that's like really on my mind is I want to do a festival of fashion photography.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm upset. I used to work at Lagos Photo.
Oh.
So I have a special connection with photography, and photography is the visual expression mode that we use in fashion. I'm sure you guys know that. So just all different types of photography interests me. I see photography as a valid medium of expression. I see it as art. It is art, like painting. So a festival of fashion photography, absolutely.
Okay.
Just imagine, showing, just as time has passed, showing a picture that a photographer took of a designer or something, a Nigerian photographer of a Nigerian designer from the 80s, and just imagine like being in the same room and just kind of seeing the evolution, seeing the progress, and all the varying ways. Like I think it's just so vital and interesting, and it should be seen. Yeah, so I would love to curate that.
I so connect with this passion, this energy. I honestly can't wait to see what you're going to put together. It feels like you have so much to give. It's just for someone to jump on it and support you. So now, like right now, I can just imagine, huge companies, state governments, just putting their weight behind you. But then again, they want to connect with the people, and they want to make sure that whatever they're doing trickles down and has a great impact. So in terms of impact, what do you believe a project like that would do for the people?
Okay, so in terms of impact, I think that we need to, like, for us as Africans, and like from now till just the nearest future, I think that how we can reimagine ourselves, our lives, our history, and our future is to, you know, break down how everything has been in the past and just rebuild it. You know, if someone re-shows you how you can see yourself, you know, you're valuable, and the things that come out of you is art, you know, and many things have happened in history, you know, colonialism and everything that has happened in history has put us in the position we are. And it might, you know, mislead you to think that you're not valuable, you're not as valuable as the West. But when we curate things like this and we show just, you know, time and, you know, the people that came before you, like, you know, your ancestors and like the past generation, and we show you your heritage and your culture through these methods. You know, fashion is involved and photography is in there, and you just know that all of this stuff is limitless, and that's how it's impactful, like in your minds, and not just in your minds, of course, like, you know, somehow suddenly the value just increases, the value of everything goes up. So yeah.
All right then. Now, honestly, I have, my mind's blown, first of all, by the amazing background you have and where you want this dream to go. And I just pray, you know, that with everything that's happened so far, it's only going to get better and better better.
Thank you so much.
More money coming in soon enough. Especially with a passion like that. But partnering with anyone right now, any partnerships in the works? Let's talk about partnerships.
No, nothing confirmed yet. Okay. But I mean, of course, I have so much to give, so much to offer. I'm definitely interested in working with brands, you know, just brands.
Give me a brand. What brand?
Darling.
Ooh.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Just anything. There's so many brands that I want to work with. It would be unfair to even start counting because I feel like the list is too long.
Okay. All right. Just get that list together. Start speaking it into the atmosphere.
Yes.
And it's going to come to pass. I can't wait to see what's going to be happening. So I have a few ideas myself. You know, don't worry. I have a consulting fee. You know, just pay my consulting fee off, and then we'll talk. I'm kidding.
I can afford it.
Really? I'm kidding. But I've always been a lover of art. Since I was a child, I've worked with other artists before, actual creative artists before,
wow.
and I can see all the greatness. And in terms of business, I feel like you have a fantastic plan in mind, a great head on your shoulders, and it's going to be sweet.
Thank you.
Let's just wait for it to happen.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in. For those who are just tuning in, we've had Arin, fresh from the Big Brother Naija Season 6 house, come out to talk to us about her future as an art curator. And of course, art, as you said, is an investment that people need to connect with. I'm all about investing.
Yeah.
And so are we right here on ABR. Stay tuned. There's still so much more coming your way on ABR, AfricaBusinessRadio.com.